Hello, my name is Flying Magpies and I'm here once again to bring you another episode of Minecraft Adventure. As you can see, I'm starting things off in my iron farm where I have been AFKing for a while. I've been staying away from my keyboard, just logged into the game so this loads up, and I have gotten 5 stacks of iron and an 8. As you can actually, not all of that was actually from the iron farm itself. I put in about 2 and a bit stacks of iron. That was from caving session I did. I went caving for about an hour or so, and yeah, so I gathered that much iron plus a bit of gold, a lot of coal actually, and a bit of lapis, but no redstone and no diamonds, which is a bit disappointing. As you can see, I've also enchanted my pickaxe, and that's why I went caving, so I could get a whole stack of coal with my efficiency 4 and a fortune 2 pickaxe. It turned out to be about 37 coal blocks, which is quite a bit. I think it's about nearly 300 coal itself, so that's quite a bit. Now moving on from there, as you can see, I'm now in my storage system. I've actually filled in this section and taken out the chests and bits that were there. I'm still trying to decide exactly what I want to do with my storage system, and now thinking that it's just going to go in a giant loop instead of just in this direction and this direction, coming back in this direction. So it'll start in here, go off in this direction, turn, come off this way, turn again, be parallel to this line here, come around again and finish off here. So this will be a big circle in this direction with the start and ends where these two bits are. But moving on from there, I'm going to need a lot of wood and iron for all the hoppers, and now that I have actually got shored up my iron supply with the iron farm, I'm going to have to shore up the log and wood supply, and that is going to involve a tree farm. This little tree farm that I've got here with the dark oak, the spruce, the oak and the birch isn't quite going to be enough. I actually haven't harvested a lot from here in a while, so I'm planning the next plans for today is to be looking and building a tree farm, possibly near my river, but most likely somewhere out here where the river is actually going to go. So I'll keep working on that, keep working on the river, and come back when I have got some more concrete plans. One thing I have thought about with the tree farm is that I don't want it too close to the town, because it's going to ruin the aspect of the town that I'm trying to create. But I also don't want it too far away, because that's going to be impractical. It's going to be too far away for me to get to in a jiffy when I need a whole stack of wood. So that is one of the main concerns I'm thinking. I could designate an area, or I could make it look like a forest, I suppose, but then the orderly lines that I usually go for with the tree farm might not actually give that aspect, so that feel. So that's something again I'm going to have to consider. Right now I'm actually working on the river feel. I'm expanding the depths of the river. I'm making it curve off in this direction, which is exactly what I want, and it's going to keep going on this direction. As I said earlier, the tree farm might actually be along the banks of the river, and so I might actually have to build up a log aspect on one side that I did, like I did in season 1 if we're in season 1 for those who are watching, and going from there. And I'm sorry that most of the clips so far have actually been extremely long, a minute or more. It's just something I'm trialing for this episode, and it probably won't last very long. Okay, and here we are now actually digging out a whole stack of water. This is actually from one of those pools that we had earlier, and now we have to fill it in because this is where the storage system goes. It's a lot of work. And here we have it, one completed cave. So thank you again, the Brawler, Cats, sorry, what's his name? Cats, Brawler, and TYS. So Brawler, I'm going to dump your iron off to the side, and Cats, yours is over here, and TYS, yours is over here. And I did actually give TYS some iron earlier, so if you want more, then you can go get some. But thank you very much, guys, for taking out all this giant cave for me. Muchly appreciated. And now that the storage tunnel itself has been finished, it's time for me to start putting in the chest and all the other decorations. As you can see, I've put in the oak stairs on top here, and I think that's going to make it look quite nice when it's finished. However, I've also started putting in the chests, and that is actually not even half done. As you can see, I've only put in about half of this side, and I've still got here as well as on the other side of the storage system. So on over here, I've got to put in the chest all the way down there and in this section here, so that's still a whole lot to go. I calculated recently how much wood it is just for one single line. I believe, so each of these chests, there's 6 chests and each of them require 8 wood, so that's 48 wood, plus I need 1, 2, 3, another hopper over on this in this line here at the top, 4, and then a 1 on the top there, which is a line going straight through, which is 5, so that's another 5 chests, so that's another 40 wood. So each line which needs 88 wood planks, so that's quite a lot of wood. I believe that's 22 logs just to do one single line chest, and that's not to say anything of the decorations as well. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to start building a tree farm. I've now switched over into flying mode to have a look at and around and see exactly where would be a good place for my iron farm. Sorry, not my iron farm, for my tree farm. I've already built an iron farm, and I have decided, or am deciding, and I reckon over here is probably a good spot over here, because there's a nice flat area. I can put in lots of the stone slabs and lights that I need, and it's not too far away from my town, but it's also close enough that I should be able to do building it. Then the other side, this is actually where I thought I might put my castle, so that might not be a good spot. I'm going to have to keep looking, I guess. After a bit more scanning around, I've decided that over here is going to be the right place for the tree farm. As you can see just over there, the river is ending over there, and is going to continue scanning around, curving around and end over here as promised, but the tree farm is going to come somewhere over here, not on the hills. It's going to be nice and flat, so I'll get started on that. While I'm doing this, I could probably explain that there are a few different designs of tree farms that I go for, and this one is probably the simplest, the manual tree farm. Now, there are 3 kinds of trees as I see it in Minecraft. They are the 2x2 trees, the ones that can grow in the 2x2 pattern, so those are the dark oak, which must grow in a 2x2 pattern, and the spruce trees, so those can go in the 2x2 format that I've got over here. Then we have the what do we call them? We have the birch and the acacia trees. I believe those 2 must grow in a 1x1 format, so I'll design another place for those. And then we have and that's right, the 2x2 also includes jungle trees, which I don't have yet. So all those can go in the 2x2 format. Then we have the acacia and the birch, which go in the 1x1, and then the oak, which can grow in the 1x1, but because they can go right next to each other, we want to do that so they become more efficient, and I've made a mistake here. We want to do that so it becomes more efficient, and so I'm going to do a little tree farm where there's a lot of oak trees right next to each other, and that will be the oak tree farm. So what I'm doing here is I'm now creating the formats for the 2x2 tree, so I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 lines of that. Probably 3, because that gives me 4 plus 5 plus 6, I think, over here. So that should be, 15 trees, and then I can grow, maybe I'll grow a 4th one, so 4 lines of it, so one can be, I don't know actually, maybe I'll do 3. 1 for oak, 1 for dark oak, 1 for spruce, 1 for jungle, and that should be enough to see me through for the 2x2 trees. Okay, and there we have it, one completed double tree farm, the 2x2 tree farm. So I've got the oak and the spruce and the jungle bits done, and as you can see I've also started work on the single trees, which will be the birch and the acacia, and that's going to expand this way a bit as well as go further out in this direction, because the river that's planned won't just stop here, it'll curve around there, so I can probably add another one of these doubles on over here and continue this single line over here. So I'll check back when I've got a little bit more wood done. Bit of an update for you guys. I have now flattened quite a bit of this plane, but there's still a lot more dirt for me to go, because I want to make it all on this level as well as extend it out to here. So there's probably still well over 15 stacks of dirt to remove, and I haven't quite got where I need to go on this. I need one more line on this side, but yeah, it's coming along quite neatly. And we're now coming up to the last few blocks that I have to dig out. Just these last couple 1, 2, 3, 4, and done. So that's finally done. I've finally dug out all the bits that I need. Now I'm going to start laying out all the stone slabs and the cobble and the dirt that I need to finish up this path. So I'll check back when I finish that. Now, having a look at the way I've managed to do this, it looks like I might actually make a slight adjustment as to the way I've built this up. So there's now 4 lines of single trees over there, and there are going to be 4 lines of double trees over here. So I can just extend this one by 1 on each of them, and it'll be very neat. Don't have to remove that one. But yeah, so I'll just extend this by 1, and that will be brilliant. Unfortunately, it does mean ripping up all of the single line tree that I already placed down here, but that shouldn't be too much of a bother. Even if my pick is running a little bit out, I should be able to finish off this and get it done. So I'll check back when I have laid out all of these tree segments. And there we have it, one complete farm for every type of wood except for the oak. Otherwise, theoretically, these trees could have the oak, but then they could grow into those massive ones, just like that one over there, and then it takes a little bit longer to harvest. So what I normally do with the oak ones is I build up a little roof of about, I think it's 10 blocks high, and then the tall ones can't grow, and it's nice and easy to harvest. So that's going to go to the side off here, and then I can start putting in the trees. So I'll check back when I have started the groundwork for that. Okay, a bit more of an update for you. I am now installing the roof for the oak tree farm, so I believe this is 9 or 10 blocks above the dirt that you can see there, and this is purely only for the oak ones. It's the only one that needs a roof because they're the only ones that will grow. I need at a shorter height, and then I can start putting in the trees. So once again, you know the drill. I'll come back when I have finished that and not died, hopefully. So I better eat, but I'll come back when I put the glass in and started planting the trees. And there we have it, one completed tree farm. As you can see, I've put in the roof for the oak trees, and some of them are growing big, but they're not the massive oak trees. I have put in I think it was 60 saplings of spruce, and the 16 saplings of dark oak, and the 14 odd of the birch. So hopefully that will all grow, and it's nice and easy for me to collect. The spruce I just have to go up in the spiral pattern. Same with the dark oak. The oak I can just chomp through. Ooh, that nearly grew in my face. And these ones I just have to go up, chop, and go through, chop, and go through. And so that is going to be a nice tree farm, and I think. And I'll now show you exactly how much wood I collected from all the trees over here. Yeah. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's of dark oak, of normal oak, 1, 2, 3 of spruce, and 1, 2, 3, 23 of spruce. No, let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit of spruce, and half a stack of dark oak, and a small bit of birch. So it's quite a bit, and I can now get started on all the hoppers that I need for down here for this massive storage system, as well as putting in all the chests, of course. But that is a primary concern, to put in all the chests and then the hoppers. So I'll get started on that now. Okay, now I've converted quite a lot of that wood into planks and then into these chests. So I have created a whole line of these, so it's all from here all the way to there, leaving a 1 space on each end, so I can get in and do the redstone bits, as well as put a nice wall in here. I've also done the same on this side. As you can see, your chest again with a space on each end to put a nice wall, and I can actually put the redstone in. So that actually took quite a lot of my wood. I think that took 5 or 6 stacks of logs, not the planks, the logs. As you can see, I've used quite a bit. So that's where I've built the tree farm, and that's going to be incredibly useful in the new episodes, and when I continue to do this storage system down here. Okay, as you can see, I have started work on the redstone side of the storage sorting system, because it's better to start sorting some items. Each of these hoppers, that's this second line of hoppers, are going to need the item that I'm going to sort, plus I think it's 45 or odd, so 44 of other items. So what I'm going to do now is go rename some junk items. I think I'll rename some cobblestone, and I'll get started on moving that. So let's come up to my anvil, which is, where is it? Over here, and I just need to rename it to something that's not going to be any repeated. So something like subscribe should do, and I'll rename lots of items to that. So subscribe, lots of those, and then I'll keep doing that and get back when I've done some more of that. Okay, I'm now back at the top of my sorting system, so I need to put in 44 items. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then 45, so that's 31, 2, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and if I put in a 45th, say a piece of iron, that should 45th. So I need to be 41 and leave an item in so it actually sorts. So that one, it won't be iron ore, but that's what I need to do for the rest of them. Okay, after a little bit of that, I have now gotten quite a bit of this storage system done. So I've gotten all the way up to the fifth one from the end. So this line, they all have hoppers, and as you can see, I've also started putting in some items. So I've got mostly the base building blocks, so stones, the andesite, the diorite, the andesite, the granite's over there, gravel, stones, dirt, sand, all the cobble types, and all the stone types, stone brick types. So that is quite a bit there, but I've still got a lot to do. What I'm thinking is I'm going to put all the wood types over here, so I think there's 6 or 7 different types of things. So there'll be the logs, the planks, the oaks, the logs, the planks, the slabs, the stairs, and so on and so forth along here, and then repeating that for the 6 different types of wood types. Okay, and moving on from there, as you can see, I've started lining the bottom of the floor of the tunnels with whatever this is. This is birch planks, so I believe that does actually give it a bit of a gloss and makes it brighter than if I used a darker type of wood. So I'm going to do that on all the walkways all the way around, as well as under these chests, under all the chests, and I believe that will make it look quite nice. What I'm thinking for each of these corners, so the corners there, corners over here, is I'm going to put some logs, probably spruce or dark oak, and I'm going to line the roof ceiling with a different type of wood. I'm not sure yet. Probably if I had jungle or acacia, that would be brilliant, but unfortunately I haven't been able to find either of them yet, so that's going to have to wait. Now, one thing I did notice earlier is this little chest that says open on camera. So I'm going to do that now, and there's a ton of dirt as well as 2 diamonds. So that is greatly appreciated to the person who did that. So thank you very much. I'm going to put it into my chest with my other diamonds if I can find them. Here they are. So yes, thank you very much, and don't steal them, please. Okay, and moving back to my storage system, as you can see, I have now lined the floor of this with the birch planks, and I've started work on the roof. You may note that I've left the middle line done, and that's because I'm still need to work out how I'm going to do the lights. I'm likely going to do some glowstone in the roof, and intersperse them every 3rd or 4th block, or maybe every 5th block. So I'm going to leave the remaining oak slabs out until I figured out exactly where I want the lights. But anyway, I believe that's all I've got time for today, so let's have a recap of what we've managed to do. We've managed to build this entire tree farm as well as harvest. As you can see, I've harvested that birch. I've also managed to start work on a storage system as well as all the redstone behind the storage system and get that all started up. And I've harvested quite a bit of my iron from the iron farm to do said storage system. So that's quite a bit of work. Anyway, I hope you have liked this video. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye!